Game number 1. Guys, this is the real highlight right now. It is the last qualification tournament for the X-Cup Summer Playoffs. And the last chance to make it into the top 8 of the leaderboard. And these two teams are fighting for the 8th spot. And we could even see a tie between them. So we're currently in the second semifinal. In the grand final, Team Wah is already waiting. And as it happens, the Donuts, they have 8 points and Chili Mountain has 7. And some of you might have figured out already that a couple of the players on the side of Chili Mountain are missing. That's definitely true. So Chili Mountain has been playing with Breeze and with Whoopi the last time, but both of them couldn't make it today, so they're currently playing with substitution players. So there's 2 sub players on the side of Chili Mountain, and on the side of the Donuts, one of the reasons why they haven't been participating in a lot of the tournaments is that Rutsu apparently doesn't have a PC right now. So his PC crashed or broke or whatever, and he ordered and bought a new one, but apparently the delivery just keeps getting delayed, so he doesn't have a PC and can't play with them. And up to this point, they therefore didn't participate. But right now, they're playing with the sub here. They have Marlo in, and we'll see what they can pull off. The interesting part with all of this is, if right now the Donuts win this series, then there's no argument what's going to happen. The Donuts move into the number 8 spot, and Chili Mountain likely is not going to participate in the playoffs unless something else crazy happens. If Chili Mountain, on the other hand, decides the series in their favor, and then loses in the grand final to Team Wah, and the Donuts win the 3rd place decider and take 3rd place, then the 2 teams would be tied in the leaderboard, and we would get a deciders match, a tiebreaker between the 2. So it's actually quite spicy. And I feel personally that the Donuts could have avoided a lot of those problems if they just participated in a few more of the tournaments and locked some points in for themselves. So this is a problem of their own making. For Chili Mountain, it's a bit more understandable that they didn't play in more tournaments, because as mentioned, they have been on vacation before. The team didn't form until now, and then they said, you know what, we're going to make that last-ditch attempt to try and qualify. Now Vala and Hoga get locked in here on Infernal Shrines, and we got a Stitches Stukov rotation. Stork likes his Stitches. He's one of the players that is subbing in today for Chili Mountain and wants to help them to reach the playoffs. And Stitches can be pretty nasty. With Stukov together, even more so. And Junkrat, of course, adds to the problem, since he can place down the mine. Whenever the Hook Gorge connects, he can push the target even farther into the opponent's team. Now, do you ban out Medivh here? Are you really afraid that Medivh gets picked as well? Probably not, after what has been picked so far, and they instead ban out Tigers. Yeah, Tigers obviously always amazing when you can go for Odin around the objective, so that's pretty fantastic. Got another ban coming in, and yeah, what do you get rid of here? I mean, they got Hogger already, so with Vala and Tai, you're always thinking about the potential double support on the side of the Donuts, so likely a support ban. Even if you're not afraid of a double support, you want to limit the options of Ixie a little bit. Lucio, for example, is still up here. But they ban out Diablo, so they don't want to deal with Lauber wall stunning them the entire time. And now the question what Ixia is going to take. Brightwing is up, Lucio is still up. That's 2 strong choices. A third one would be Malfurion. Can control the choke points on the objective very, very easily on pretty much all of the shrines. And here comes the Leo pick. I shall suffer! As Leo is going to try and take out the trash again. As we are getting, as a support, Toranda! Ooh, they played that already, but in this setup, really? Damn. That is quite the pick. There's a few more teams lately that are trying to make Toranda work. And actually, last weekend, I think it was, we had one match where Toranda was played, and pretty successfully. Domination from the beginning. That's exactly how you have to play her. Positioning needs to be absolutely top-notch if you want to make Toranda work. But for the Donuts, this is an interesting pick here. What is Lauber going to take? Because he needs a stun to... maybe Muradin even. But Muradin is not really all that great on the shrine. So we got Mephisto for Make. I highlighted in some of the previous games that Make really loves this Mephisto. I mean, he played it already today, but I specifically talked about him playing it on Infernal Shrines. And we got Urel too. That's a strong setup. Stitches, Urel, beefy frontline, good displacement. And what is Lauber going to take? I mean, with Toranda, you want to have a stun. ETC and normally Muradin. Oh, wait, what? Team? The fuck just happened? Tracer, Vala, with Hogger and a main tank Leoric? Okay, and that with Tyrande? Ha! Damn! Alright, let's see. Inferno Shrines, everybody. First map, Chili Mountain against the Donuts. Here we go. Not only do we get Tyrande, but we get a Leoric main tank. I mean, with Lauba usually dying in the first 30 seconds of the game, Leorki makes sense. He's going to be back so much faster, so they can snowball it from there. Now, all dumb jokes aside, that's going to be a spicy one. So they take a big risk in game number 1 with that draft. Skork on Hogger, we got Ixia and Tyrande. Marlow is playing Tracer. Lauba is mentioned on the main tank Leo. And Tai on Vala. Now on the right side of the map, Mephisto played by Make. We got Galnagulnar on Stukov, Smexy on Junkrat. Stork with Stitch is going to the Patchwork Creation here, and Backhult on Urel. I honestly don't know how the blue team is going to try and make this work. I think they're going to have a big problem on their hands, because Urel is going to jump in and threaten the backline time and time again. Tracer, she might... if Tai is really popping off here, maybe they can make some moves, but I'm a little bit scared for them. Because there's a lot of squishies, and if Stitches lands a decent hook, if Urel is wreaking havoc in the backline, there's so much potential for this to go wrong. They have to play that setup nearly perfectly to make it work, in my opinion. But we'll find out what they can do here. Already a bit of damage against Tracer. Doesn't quite connect with the Lurking Arm. But the blue team, they're pressuring this. And Lauba, of course, with Leo, he has some self-sustain for here with Austin's Renewal and also with the Drain. But this is going to be a very, very interesting game, to say the least, because that comp is something I did not see coming. That last pick, I mean, damn son. And the switcheroo with Leo. Now, Urella's up at the top and is going up against Stock. And down at the bottom, it's time for the camps. So yeah, time will tell what they can do here, but especially the Tyrande pick with that particular combination is very odd. Normally when you go for Tyrande, what you want is someone setting you up. Muradin with the Stormbolt, ETC with the Power Slide. You can also play that with Stitches, of course, and follow up the hook with a good stun. But she needs space. She needs space that gets created for her so that she's a bit safer. And with hooks against her and all of this, this is going to get tricky. Tai with a good vault here. Yeah, not overreacting. And Tyrande, of course, can also provide some vision. Now, Ixia is obviously absolutely fantastic as a support player, and his positioning is stellar. He will do a decent job there, one way or another, but still, there will be pressure on him, and we'll find out how he can deal with that, considering the composition that they're playing. For now, level 4 talents are kicking in for the two teams. The stuns, obviously, from Tyrande coming out, and she has also the added advantage of adding the Hunter's Mark in. But Leo is dead already. Yeah, and now not only Marlow, but also Tyrande are both in trouble. Ixia low, and they both make it out of the fight. Barely, I might add. And there's the kill against Stukov. And they might get stalked too. He has the Devour up and uses it against... oh, against the Fleabag. But there's another hook quickly against Lauba. So there's a lot of back and forth in the early game. I'm also worried about the mid and late game, honestly, because the squishies on the blue team will be in even more danger once we're reaching that point of it. If Tai, of course, can pop off and jump into the bat line, take Smexy down on Junkrat, then that's a big one. Some of the guys have to play off-roll today. As pointed out, normally Wooby and Breeze play with them, but they couldn't play today. And yeah, we'll see. 3 minutes in. Objective is up, and at least for now, the position is going to the red team. There's only one team that makes a play for the camp, so the top lane is going to pressure. But down here, they're looking in a very solid advantage with 14 points now, and Lauba is already in trouble. There's the stun. Stukov gets attacked, but makes his way out, and Lauba is dead. Lauba down. We're still early though, so he will be back in a few more seconds. Someone has to go to the top side to make sure that there's not going to be too much damage done by Hogger on the camp that was claimed. And it is Urel, and she takes the safe path. But down here, it seems like this one is going to be inevitable. Yeah, but this is serious damage. This is an entire wall that has been taken down. And to be quite honest with you, this might be exactly the same amount, if not more, that the red team can do once they lock in the Punisher. Always assuming that they're going to do exactly that, but given how far ahead they are, they should be able to pull that off. But they aren't there yet. So this can always be turned at some point. And Smexy is very low. But they go for Lauba again. And he makes it out this time. And here comes Urel. 23 stacks to 36. And they're moving in again. Stitches is low. And he's dead. Stitch is dead. Smexy makes it out, but they can't get the counter kill here. And now they're missing, of course, their tank. But they go for the counter kill after all with a quick drop on Leo. Bakul is going in deep and was trying to come through against Ixia. And he's even able to make it happen. They take Hogger down and Ixia falls 2. 5 kills to 2. And that's, of course, now a massive push to the bot lane since there's pretty much no defender left. Only Vala and Tracer. And Tracer is so low that she won't be able to do a whole lot here. So that's a fort. So far, the composition isn't working. So far, it is not working even a little bit. That's a very early fort that falls. They're trying to go for Lauba once again. And Lauba is playing Leoki at this point. I mean, that guy is looking so much trade value. It is crazy. Yeah, he looked at that talent. He said, like, I'm going to get something out of it. The jump procced in front of the gate. Thankfully, it was already low, but there's another kill against Tracer. Very nice combo with Mephisto and Stukov. Khaldor always getting pressured here, but he is alive. And kicking. Didn't go down. And Lauba might not be able to say the same thing here. They try to go for him again, but this time he makes it out of harm's way. It doesn't change the fact that there's level 10 on the board now for Chili Mountain. And the red team, they are hyper aggressive around all of this. We have top side, still some pressure that Backhold is meeting now as he's stopping the wave just before the fort and locks in the experience for them. But that's obviously with the vision trick. A destroyed fountain in the mid lane, which is where the next objective spawns. Stork is moving away here. But the big engage into the back line. Smexy a bit low. They're trying to get the kill, but they just can't. And Urel is moving in now too. Here comes the ult, the strafe. Vala down, Tyrande down. Mephisto falls, but so does Leo. And now they try to go for another kill, and they are likely gonna get it. Yeah, that's a problem for Hogger. A hook, a kill, and that's 4 heroes down. And the donuts are currently getting crushed. I mean, check this fight out. So everybody's stacked up. The strafe comes in. And yeah, that not even that doesn't do anything for them. We had the Butruk Bile in there. Vala died. I mean, everybody just went down. The level 10 abilities totally murdered them here. They tried, but Durance of Hate, Butruk Bile, and everything that came through for Chili Mountain was way too strong. And now the Chilis, with 10 kills to 3, they're locking in their camp, and this is just looking amazing for game number 1. And I told you how, I mean, again, how important this match is. This series is insanely important for them right now. Berkult gets attacked, jumps out. Same time, though, the pressure through the mid lane continues as they are hoping to take some of the structures down, but it just doesn't happen. And as the red team locks in, or is about to lock in, their level 13, the blue team, the Donuts, they're just too far away from it. So it's unlikely that they're going to be playing on even talents as the next objective spawns. It's not impossible. Kill would go a long way to close the gap a bit, but it's getting a bit more dangerous now. So, well, here's another one. Trying to make the play for Stitches again, but they can't. And he has now the hook extension since the level 13 talents are kicking in. Virulent reaction, another problem. And Lauba is suffering again at the front. Yeah, Tai works in a bit of damage. The hook is in. And now they're going for Tai. Nice entomb, but Tai is not out of harm's way yet. And Berkult, he wants the kill and he zones her out. But the rest of the team is here too. Virulent reaction already used. Tai gets attacked, dodges out on a lot of the damage. Marlow is also getting murdered here. So everybody is losing hit points, but they're turning it, and the strafe is fantastic. And that's the kill. What a great play from the Donuts. They are getting a kill against Stukov and might even lock one in against Urel. And indeed they do. Everybody is low on their end, but they made the double kill happen. That's insanity. That gives them level 13, and all of this happened without them having level 13. So that just was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Big shout out here to the Donuts. That was such an incredible turnaround in that fight. It's unbelievable. Vala was the one that was getting chased there, and instead this is happening. So now they go for the objective to try to take this one, get the first Punisher, unyielding the spare on level 13. And they got 30 stacks already. Chili Mountain, they're letting it happen. They're trying to get a hook kill so that it's only a 4 versus 5. And Marlow is low. He ate the grenade. Full face. That's a 5 versus 5. There's the Entomb. That's a big Entomb. That's a big Entomb. Can Stork get out? Well, maybe not. Do we have the Shockwave in another second? But they don't even need it, do they? No, they don't. They take Stork down. What's happening here? The Donuts, they got crushed in the early game, in the early mid-game too, and now they're all of a sudden turning it on its head. What? Berkul nearly dying as well. Yes, the Riptire comes out. That got close. The Punisher stun got followed up by Tyrande moving in. Ixia with a very good connect. But thanks to this being a frozen Punisher, it's the end of the fort. They're back! Don't know what to tell you guys. They're back. Even in structures on the map. Damage output, of course, 31,000 for Hogger, 30,000 for Vala, 43k for Mephisto. Yeah, he's bringing the pain. So does Junkrat. He's at 26,000. 25,000 for Stitches. But still, as it stands, it's all of a sudden the blue team that is starting to make the big plays here. And I gotta admit that I did not expect that from happening. So it's all about the bot camp. That's what they're trying to lock in now. But the blue team has before put some priority on the camp in the middle of the map and is ushering that through the lane. At the top, Berkul against Skog still, and this is now the chance for them to get the one at the bottom at least, but they are making the big gank happen. And Berkul, he is gonna have to pop his ult, and he can... Oh, just in time. Just in time. They're using a lot of ults. He's gonna die. He's not gonna... What? Berkul gets out, and they used multiple ults against him. And the owl nearly takes him down. Berkul alive, the camp at the bottom taken, him zoned out, level 16 for the Donuts. What a game. I can't believe that we are in a position where the Donuts are all of a sudden ahead considering how they got crushed earlier. That's insane. Alright, so 6 kills to 10, 16 to 16. Our talents, and it's party time because the next shrine should be announced in a few more seconds, and it's topside, and that's an advantageous position for the Donuts because they still have their fort and the fountain at the top. So that is great, and they're also trying to time this a bit better. Stitches wants the hook, of course. Don't think he can get it here. Nope, gets dodged out. Even if it didn't, that wouldn't be a problem. Crushing Hope on level 16 now. So can drain at the front even further. Swing and drain. Always swing and drain. Never do it the other way around. Much easier for opponent to walk away. So always slow them first and then connect the drain. I'm talking about connecting. They're connecting the stun. They're connecting the entomb. Stalk with a putrid bile. And Vala used her ult as well. Talking about ults. Here comes Tracer. Dropping the bomb. But they are dropping low too. And Berkul, he's the one to fall first. They got the Urel kill and Stalk. He dies. No way. The Donuts. Wow. That comp, it's working out for them all of a sudden. They're getting the kills. And they're just cleaning house. Marlow is popping off here on his Tracer. Tai also with lots of damage, but now that they have Mephisto, Junkrat, and also Stukov eliminated, they're breaking through the wall at the top. It's a full 5-man wipe, and they're just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. The fuck am I watching here? The plays that they're making now are insane. I said it in the earlier stages. They nearly have to play this one to perfection if they want to make it work, and currently they do. Every time we see a big fight, they're insanely low, but then they turn it around again. Now Lauba is sitting at the top. They took the keep down, and now they're stealing the camp away. This is crazy. This is really crazy. I mean, think about how thin the line is that they're threading here. Every team fight, they're low, they're getting attacked, and then they just turn it, they nibble away at the hit points. Ixia is connecting his owls absolutely perfectly, follows it up with stuns whenever someone comes through. Lauba with the engage on the entomb. And then, just when you think that now the Donuts are going to crack, all of a sudden there's a single hero that dies on the side of the Chili's, and then it's a snowball effect. And here they come again. They want the fight, they're 2 levels ahead, the stats advantage is in their favor, and here the entomb is perfect. And Tomb hits so many of them. They try to follow up on it, but they can't. And Junkrat is down. And now Stukov dies. They're murdering all of them. Tai connects an insane strafe. It's another 5-man wipe. Are you fucking kidding me? It's the second 5-man wipe. They are crushing them. And they're going for the core now. They're trying to make their way over to the core. Guys, what is happening here? Look at this fight. Look at this shit. They got level 20 talents now, and they're bringing it towards the core. They dropped all of them. 16 kills to 10 all of a sudden. What? Now, this is just nuts. The Donuts turned the game around and they ended. They ended on Infernal Shrines. Mad respect to make this work. Unbelievable. What a great performance by them. And that's the lead in the semifinal. And such an important semifinal it is. The Donuts, they take the lead 1-0 after they lock in the victory on Infernal Shrines.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
X-Cup Summer X-Cup Summer Semifinal. There we go. What? The player final? I don't know what that is, but that's what nearly came out of my mouth and was like, what? So, we had our second map, everybody, and, well, the Donuts are in the lead. They made that combo work they made it work extremely well in the mid-game. And I really felt that Chili Mountain, after the start that they had an opportunity to maybe snowball that, but the chase on Vala at the top shrine, where all of a sudden the Donuts appeared in force and took them down for the first time, that changed the entire game. From that point on, every single team fight ended in favor of the Donuts, who just picked off the backliners and then snowballed the game. So it was incredibly well coordinated by the blue team, and they were totally in sync throughout this one. Now, as we're heading into our second map, of course, as pointed out before, if the Donuts win this one, they are in the top 8. Unless another team that is in the top 8 says, guys, we can't play the playoffs, I don't know what to tell you, but we have to drop out there, it would mean that Chili Mountain is not qualified for the playoffs. So we'll, of course, confirm all of that in the next 1 or 2 days before the playoffs start. Playoffs start on Friday. But right now, it is tricky. Because you need to win 2 in a row now if you want to make it. And even then, it's not even guaranteed, as I mentioned before. We could still end up in a tiebreaker situation between the two teams if Chili Mountain wins this series. And they're starting things off with the Global on Towers of Doom, so they're going for Brightwing. We have Zagara banned, the Birdie is banned, and I think Falsat is also banned because Smexy has been playing it a lot today. Yeah, Smexy has been playing it quite a bit. And it is obviously unfortunate that Chili Mountain is playing with 2 sub players today. Now, I by no means do I want to blame it on the sub players, but if you have Wooby and Breeze on your team, that is quite the power spike that comes in. And also, I assume that the synergy is a little bit better with them. Now, Ty picks Vala again, and we have Lauba and Stitches, a very early pick for him. And that immediately rings, of course, alarm bells. You're thinking about Medivh, because you could go for a kidnap combo. That would be one of the things that could happen here. Anything else that you can combo off with Stitches is also kind of nice. Stalk with a reaction on Nubarak, so that's not only stuns that he has to slow Stitches down whenever he goes for Gorge, if he does at all, but you also have Cocoon, which can help a lot. So, something to definitely watch out for. And Tychus isn't really a bad pick here either, because with his bigger they are, he can start shredding Stitches down very, very quickly. So, the more hit points our bad boy has on the other side, the easier for Tychus dropping at least low, and then the rest of the team can jump in to finish the job. With the bans, what are we getting? Malthael. Yeah, with Stitches, you don't want Malthael to come in with the last rights. So after Tychus started things to finish the job. And now the question, are you afraid of Medivh or not? Now, the thing with Medivh is obviously, if you go for Gorge and Stitches gets a hook, gets a Gorge, and then the portal appears next to him, you can just kidnap the target super easily. And that's something that could happen. But you gotta always ask yourself, is that really something you're afraid of, yes or no? They go for Stukov, okay. No, none of the names on the blue team side rings alarm bells immediately. It's not like we're having Ultralisk there, I don't know, Marker, who knows, doesn't really matter. Either way, what are we getting for Ixia? That's more so a question. You could, for example, go for Malfurion. Whenever you get a hook from Stitches, you can follow it up with Malf. Then again, in game number 1, they already spiced things up a little bit by playing Tyrande. So technically still an option that they could try and do that. So, yeah, Junkrat and Urel get chosen. And that leaves us with the last 2 picks. Also, another thing that I want to throw out here. Even if Chili Mountain doesn't make it, even if they don't participate in the playoffs for the X-Cup Summer, keep in mind that after this tournament, Meta Madness is coming up, and while 4 teams get qualified directly through the X-Cup Summer playoffs, 4 more teams will participate in the event chosen through qualifiers. So there's a chance that we're going to see the lineup with Smexy, Wooby, Breeze, Macke, and Berghult participate in Meta Madness. That's always an option. We got Leo and we got Mephisto again. So, yeah, Mephisto once more getting played here. Leoric together with Anubarak. So there's Drains against Stitches and Tychus, who can also go for the percentage damage. It leaves us with the last pick, and that's Ixir, our support, and he goes for Ana this time. Okay, Towers of Doom, everybody. The lead goes to the Donuts. Can Chili Mountain bring it back in force game number 3, or do they drop down into the third place deciders match right here, right now? We're going to find out in Towers of Doom. Game number 2, Towers of Doom, the Donuts in the lead against Chili Mountain. On the left side, Skog on Junkrat, Ixir on Ana. We have Lauber on Stitches, Marlo on Vala, and Tai on Urel. On the right side, Chili Mountain with Smexy on Tychus. Obviously, since they're playing with subs today, it also means a bit of a role swap for him. Mark on Mephisto, Stalk on Anubarak, Galnigulna on Brightwing, and we have Berghult on Leoric. Alright, let's get this show on the road and see what they can pull off here. Mainly talking about the red team, because they need to win 2 in a row now. So, for the time being, a little bit of a brawl in the middle, so maybe an early kill even. Urel is already jumping deep, trying to isolate Smexy from the rest of the team. Marlo is also eating some damage, but at least for now, everybody is still Gucci. Lauber with the hook, the connect, and Smexy. He dies, yeah. There it is. Vala vaulting forward. Marlo locks the kill in. Good for them. Well done. Yeah, that's a really nice shot here. That's a good start for them. Already showing them their limits a little bit in the early engage. Now, that's the first kill, and they're trying to go for a second one too. Macke gets chased around a bit in the mid lane. But yep, and down at the bottom of the map we got Stalk, and we got Skog also in position. Tai, there's the drain. But he moves out. Again, this interplay between the two of them is just going to continue throughout the entire game. For now, it's more so about the bot lane and the pumpkin camps. And here comes the hook, and did poop in the wrong direction, so Skog a bit late on this one. But they still took their own pumpkin camp, and they are currently pushing Chili Mountain away from theirs. So that gives them even control over the bot lane. I kind of like that. I really, really like that quite a bit. So, yeah. Here we have it. Another move straight up for this one. Lauber and his boys are looking in the second one, and that is giving Elite an experience. It gives an additional control. So, good start. Great start for the Donuts. Again, for what it's worth, because obviously we all know that Towers of Doom is a map where the late game is more important than anything else. If you build the momentum in the late game, you can always bring it back. We had so many comebacks on this map, and for good reason. But if you can build up some early game pressure, it's obviously not for nothing. So, with all of this, what are we getting? There's another quick hit against Masquerade with a hook, but he can always jump out with an Uberak. In this case, he didn't even have to go for the burrow charge to escape, which is simply move away, as you would have expected. And as we talked about, the bigger they are comes through for Smexy on level 4, so they can put the pressure on Urel and especially Stitches. And Lauber is already falling back here, but he gets another hook connected, and that is likely the end of Stalk, and Anubarak indeed dies. So Marlo with the aggression, he's not the only one. Skog is also moving forward very quickly as they're putting more pressure on. And damn, how much damage are we actually at for Vala? She's at nearly 10,000, look at this. Junkrat even ahead of her, but that is getting nasty. They are controlling so much of the map already, and we're only 3 minutes in. Now, it should be 2... Yeah, they get 2 out of the 3 altars. As I said, comebacks always possible on this one. But boy, is that a spicy start for the team in blue. After the first map and the victory that they locked in there, they're looking extremely strong today. And again, this victory would guarantee them a spot in the top 8 and a spot in the playoffs, therefore. So now that we're seeing them move in with another kill against the Nubarak, they have Urel coming in from the top. Tai is moving through, trying to lock in another kill, maybe even against Macke. Instead, it's Tychus that they settle for. Smexy dies. That's a level 7. And we have 4 kills to 0 Damn! Really well played. Early game control for the Donuts. And of course now it's just a question of how much can they snowball this one. How much momentum can they get? It's the bot lane control that you're trying to accomplish. You want to have that bot lane bell tower so that you control the entire lane. Why is that? Because you have two camps that are pushing through the bot lane, which technically gives you an opportunity to get core shots in even without the altars. But right now, we still have only a half-level lead for the blue team, so it's definitely a bridge, a gap that you can bridge. But yeah, things are not really looking all that great for them. This, on the other hand, is a nice engage against Tai. He loses 50% of his HP, but that's it. And now they're making another play down here. Yeah, Lauber gets the hook in, but only against the Pumpkin that delays the camp slightly. Vala is on the point, and Nubarak dives in, gets boosted away from it, and thanks to Junkrat and his mind, they're locking in another one. So far, we have 4 camps for the Donuts and not a single one for Chili Mountain. They didn't get a single camp yet. Take a look at the experience here. Mercenaries, 0, nada, zip, zilch. Nothing, nix. So that is pretty strong for the Donuts, because now we're talking about level 10. They have 1 level lead. An early level 10 helps you. They're already fighting for the next altar here, of course. And time's ticking for Chili Mountain. Once the next talent kicks in for the blue team, you have to give this one up. And they're losing Stork, aren't they? Stork is dead. He's dead again. They're farming the Beetle. The Beetle is down, and Maka is also dead as Urel jumped in and flattened him. And Vala, with the last and final shot, dropped him quickly. Damn, son. They are murdering this. That's another 4 shots fired. Boom. 28 points against 36. And guess what? There's a level 10 ability. 6 kills to 0. The Donuts. Yeah, they are not sugarcoating this one. They're turning into bagels here. Donuts to bagels as they are going ham. Yeah. They are murdering. That bot lane gets dropped. The bell tower converted. They have a 2-level lead, nearly 6 kills to 0, and that is such a big momentum that they own now. What can they do with it? Can they convert even more bell towers? Can they prep some of the lanes, take a couple of towers down, open the gates up? What's it gonna be? Camps are not spawning for another 45 seconds. There's little that you can do at this point. X here with a pew pew pew, but there's finally the level 10 abilities for Chili Mountain. So maybe they can bring it back here. Durance of Fate, they have a couple of nice combos available, especially if the Entomb connects. Something they can do. Yeah, and they're trying to defend. Again, establish bot lane control, hold it for as long as you can. Backhold with a tactical pause as the team is debating on how they should run this. Just kidding. I'm not quite sure if somebody dropped there, but seems like they didn't drop out. So 3-2-3 moment that we currently have. But they need kills. I mean, they need kills. It's simple as that. They need to win a couple of team fights because now they need to reclaim that position at the bot lane in particular. As you can already tell, it's another 6 seconds until this camp is up. Over here, it doesn't really take all that much longer. Another 18 seconds, and we have Pumpkins also spawning that position at 6 potential shots against the core. So you need to deal with that somehow. Taking the bell tower back really, really helps you. Now, the next objective is at the top. So we're going to have an altar at the top left, another one at the top right. And once that those two are up, traditionally what we're seeing is an easy move by both teams towards the top. They meet in the middle a little bit. There's a small skirmish, but it eventually leads to each team taking one one altar. One of the reasons for that is that it's simply really difficult, if you're the blue team, for example, to lock this one in, because there's a lot of interrupt potential from up here that makes you quite safe. That equation gets slightly changed by stitches, but again, normally you're not able to do a whole lot there. So that's kind of what we're expecting at this point. But there is a significant lead, 8 points on the board of the core. We have 19,000 already for Junkrat. Urel and Leo are still trying to control the top lane here, of course. And now it's just a question of whether or not they can take that bell tower back. Because if that's not the case, then we're only going to see 3 shots fired by the red team if they lock in that altar. And on the other side is, of course, 5 that the Donuts will pop in. They have full control right now. So the onus is really on the red team now. They are the ones that need to make some moves there. They need to find some kills and get them. And they can combo that, especially with the Dorans of Hate. If they lock that in properly, they have the option of doing some serious damage. But I'm a little bit afraid that these hooks that could always come out of nowhere are eventually going to lead to some Gorge isolation and then a potential kill. And that's pretty much what we're waiting for here, to see if they can pull that off. Because Stitches is threatening that position at the bot lane the entire time. And with them holding that bell tower, they can also Gorge the Talon, just bring it back here so that even additional damage comes in. And Stork already got farmed a bit early on. So here's the altars coming in. The camps are both up. Hook misses for now. But the follow-up was already there, as you could see. The follow-up from Junkrat in particular was there instantaneously. Dropped it and was hoping for the trap to catch someone. And they're fighting for this. They have to take fights. But the camp is already taken. Camp is taken. Now it's about the team fight. And it is a 5 versus 4 for now. But they're moving back. There's the Gorge. Don't think they can do a whole lot with it. Riptire's going to come out against it. Dorans of Fate. Riptire. Cocoon. And Odin pushes them back. But they can't capitalize on the Entomb. And guys, this is a 5 versus 4. That means Urel takes both of the altars in the meantime. Stitches goes down, but Urel gets the second channel. Vala dies as well. They're diving deep, but that is 10 points off the core. Now, they sacrifice those core points because they want to go for the full 4 kills. And they're getting them. They get the 4 kills. They didn't lose anybody, even though everyone is low for Chili Mountain. And they reclaim that bell tower. But they lost 10 points because of it. So they're closing the gap in experience. They got 4 kills. That's the first team fight they won, and it was clutch. It was really close. It was a 5 versus 4 all day long. But Urel, she gets additional experience for them. 13 versus 13. And on the core points, we're now looking at 36 to 18. Which means that Chili Mountain has barely half of the points. Team? The monster hook against Smexy. Lauber. Nice. Yeah, we're going to take another look at that hook, aren't we? Yeah, indeed we do. Check this one out. Lauber in the corner, the blind hook, and he connects it perfectly. And yep, that's the end of Tychus. And all of a sudden they're back to the bot lane in an attempt to take the bell tower down again. Just like that. Just like that. Smexy getting hooked and murdered, and that bell tower drops down to 50% HP. Okay, for just a second I thought they might even be able to take down Macke. Well, they try to go for Stitches, and guys, that is potentially a kill. But the Eye of Horus, Ixir, yeah, saves his boys. Here comes the flank, the Entomb, it misses. The Entomb misses, they could still try and slow them down a little bit. The hook, no! Smexy, not again, not like this. And the Smex Master is about to die. They try the counter kill against Vala and it doesn't work. Smexy, he came, he saw, and he died again. Veni, Vidi, BG. Yeah, that was, I mean, again, he respawns, comes back down, dies again, and now he's dead again. Spends more time in the Nexus than on the map. Smexy is having a bad mid-game. And here comes another potential hit, but Marlo doesn't connect the stun with Vala. They are going for that bell tower. They want way more than only the channel on the altar. They want the bell tower too. They want to have another 5 points. And they're coming in for it. There it is. Yeah, Endurance of Fate has been taken too. They're trying to go for another kill. Urel jumps in, the slow, the stun. Marlo low. The Entomb, this time it hits, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. They need that damage dealer. Smexy's back. Smexy's back. Stork, he survives. How the hell? They control everything down here. They are ahead in experience again to Macke. Yeah, they get it. Macke is down. And now the channel is happening. Tie with another 5 points off the red team's core. 5 shots being fired right here. And they hit hard. 13 to 36. And they go for Smexy again. Lauber with these hook connects time and time again. The camp not completely taken yet. There's still one pumpkin that's remaining. Urel and Leo fighting their own little battle at the top lane. But yeah. Here we go. Level 16 is in. And that gives us also, on top of things, Manticore. So now even more single target damage that they can bring in here. Yeah. Here we go. I mean, Lauber, honestly, I didn't really know about his Stitches performance here. We always knew that he is a master beta. I mean, there are so many plays that they made in the past where they just baited a target. Lauba was a master baiter for a long time. I mean, ever since he was like, I don't know how many years old. But that he's a master hooker as well, I had no idea. Now, this one came a little bit short, but generally speaking, he is just performing here. So, we got Mithril Mace in, both teams now on level 16. There's a 5 kill gap between the two of them. When we're looking at damage, we have 42,000 for Junkrat. Skok is popping off here. 41,000. Another hook. Look at him. What a play. Lauba, you sexy beast, you. Made easy, of course, by Anna. Lauba might die. Gets the Devour through. Riptire. Rip. And now they're trying to go for the next hit. And another sleep dart that hits hard. And Smexy is once more dead. 5 deaths on Tigers. Smexy is getting farmed. But Urel is also dead. The problem is that Anubarak dies, so that kill doesn't even do anything for them, and it's not the only kill that happens. Brightwing is dead. That's the end of Medivh. Oh my god. It's a triple altar phase. Guys, the game's over. The fuck? They just won! The triple altar phase! We had 13 minutes in on Towers of Doom, and they just locked in a win! Unless Leo can somehow delay the top. 5 shots fired, bam, to your face. Up at the top, Berkult, and Leo does what he does best. He activates his trade. Mad trade value. Smexy's back to business. He gets isolated. Shots fired, another 5 down. They're already in the single digits. Now they're down to 3. And it is Anna that comes in and goes for the final channel. Nicely done. The Donuts lock in that playoff spot. They win the game on Towers of Doom, move on to the grand final of the tournament, and are now in the top 8 of the leaderboard.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.